What's up, guys? Welcome into Dog Central on a Tuesday night. I am Graham Coffey. We are here to record this week's film review of Georgia UAB. Very interesting game from my perspective. We saw some pattern breaking in a sense by Georgia's offense. A lot more deep routes, not always thrown downfield, mind you, but we'll show you here how some of these deep routes, even ones that Georgia missed, opened up a lot of things for the offense. Um, just not a totally clean game by Georgia's offense. I think it would have a lot better vibes in some people's minds if they had hit a couple passes that they missed. But on the whole, just I think a good performance from Georgia, a performance that you want to see. I took it as a natural progression of Georgia getting better. Georgia's success rate on offense continues to be really, really good. Um, they like balled out at certain times in terms of efficiency. I think impressive. They're not getting all the way there, but 58% success rate as an offense, 80% success rate in the second quarter of this game. To give you some perspective on what that means, Georgia's success rate, the highest success rate they had in a quarter against TCU in the 65-7 national championship game win was 71%. So they're getting rolling in terms of a down to down basis, and they're starting to hit more explosives. I think Mike Bobo is starting to make cake a little bit here. There's been a bunch of ingredients laying around on the table for a while. Didn't exactly know what he was going to do with them. Starting to see a little more kind of how this whole thing is going to work together, and he's doing a good job of putting things on tape that are going to bother people down the road and that they can build more off of run counters and fakes too. So I like what's happening for Georgia's offense. I think fans are going to like it more and more over the next month. So without further ado, let's hop in on some footage. All right, opening drive. So this was better this week for Georgia on the opening drive. First opening drive touchdown, I believe, of the year. Maybe second, but yeah, 6 plays, 75 yards. And look at this right out the gate, downfield. What was my complaint about Carson Beck last week? Reading too short, never seen an underneath route that he doesn't like. That comes up at one point in this game, but for the most part, I liked how he's looking downfield. You see him reading his outside receivers first. I didn't feel like he was always doing that at times last week. Um, yeah, like he's locked in on the true X there, and then he's going to come back across the middle of the field to love it. Good stuff. And what I liked about this opening drive was Mike Bobo getting the ball into the best player's hands on the first drive of the game, establishing those guys as threats. I think it's healthy. I think it's good for your offense when that happens. So you can't really ask for a better start to a game than an explosive pass play and one that comes easy. Moving forward here, so next play, roll in the pocket. I think Beck is a lot like Stetson Bennett in the sense that he seems to be a little bit more comfortable when they get him moving, and they got him moving here. Just rah Thomas. What happens when you catch a couple deep balls? People start to play off of you. So Georgia's taking advantage of that. That's what you want to see. Just good, easy offense here. Not difficult to do. Easy is good, especially against UAB. It needs to be easy most of the time, or you probably got a problem on your hands. 2nd and 1 here. This was a theme throughout the night. Okay, Bowers on these little like slip out things. Ironically enough, this was UAB kind of killed Georgia as much as you're going to see a G5 opponent mess with Georgia's defense on really similar concepts. But You're going to see a lot of this throughout the game. So many of them that I didn't even clip all of them, but just play action fake, make the linebacker bite, flip it out to the edge, let the best player in college football be the best player in college football in space. Makes good sense to me. I think that smart move. And for Bowers in this game, I like seeing him becoming the focal point of the offense. 9 targets, 9 catches for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. The scary thing about that for opponents is the average depth of target on the throws that he caught, the 9 catches, was 1.1 yards past the line of scrimmage. So 111 of his 121 yards in this game came after the catch. So 12.3 yards after the catch per a reception. Look, I know people want to see wideouts get the ball. You find me a wideout that is going to get 12 yards after the catch per catch, and that is going to do that 9 times over the course of a game, and I'll advocate for him having 9 targets. But right now, what they're doing with Bowers makes sense. Moving forward here in the drive, this is pretty well blocked. Delp, he's such a hot and cold blocker at times, but when he's good, man, he's really really good. Right here, he does a good job of sealing this edge for Edwards. You get the wide receivers out. Meeks is in the game there. He's the guy in the bunch basically that's closest to the sideline on the near side, number 9, lined up next to Bowers, and Bowers gets his. Meeks gets his. You got guys at the second level blocking. You got Ernest Green all the way up here driving somebody into the ground. Look at that pancake for big Ernest. You got to love that. That's a tone-setting type play. First run play of the game, pancaking folks, getting wide receivers out, hat on hat, 8-10 yards downfield. That's exactly what you want. So this play caught my eye because look who's in the backfield, number 19. Then you're going to have Cash Money Records motion out. Speaking of Bowers and hot and cold blocking, this is just not a good block right here, and it should be because look, the linebacker who is standing in the middle of the hashes there is going to be the one that comes. He's going to come and defend this play and make this tackle, but like Delp has leverage here, and the mistake he makes is trying to get too far upfield here. Like, it's not your job to block him 3 yards downfield. It's just your job to make a seal. And when you stepped a couple steps upfield, you've lost your leverage. And now he's all the way into the backfield. He's penetrated, and your back's not able to take off at full speed. Like, good job by Jones breaking that tackle. And, it's a 4-yard gain. It's not a disaster, but that can be a big play. Like, Georgia's got the numbers they want on the outside. It's the right call, and you've got Rosemy out there, who we know is a hell of a blocker. But by the time Cash Jones shakes that defender, help has come. So that's the thing with these screens. Like, they got to get off quick. They got to be blocked well, obviously, but like the ball carrier has to get downfield fast. So this is 3rd and 13 after there was a holding penalty that was also by Delp that put Georgia behind the 8 ball, and you kind of felt like it was going to kill the drive. Look, this is what I've been waiting for from Carson Beck. Is this a highlight play for a touchdown? No, but he puts the ball up where his really good wide receiver has a chance to make a play, and the wide receiver draws a pass interference flag, and the drive continues. Like, that is the difference between a long field goal and what ends up being 6 points. Sometimes you got to give your guys a chance to make a play. You got to be like judicious in terms of how you decide to do that, but boom, all of a sudden now you're in scoring territory inside the red zone. Arian Smith touchdown. Georgia 6 for 6 in the red zone in this game. 5 for 5 from the first team offense. Definitely what the doctor ordered. And this is how you want to block those screens. Look, Brock Bowers, it's not a decleater, but he's in the way. I am an advocate for these bubble or I'm sorry, these tunnel screens where the receiver is either is moving inside like this because it avoids the opportunity to jump one of these from the defense, and that's going to come up later on in our show here. All right, so look, they start this early. Okay, this one's to the running back, but Alex Mortenson's a stud. Okay, UAB's offensive coordinator is really really good. Young name. If I had to bet money on it, I would say within 5 years he's going to be a household name across college football. Big name OC at an Alabama or somewhere like that. But he gets his guy on the motion on the move there, slips it out, and yeah. Is that a disaster play? No, but that's an easy 7 yards on first down. And if you're a defense, especially if you're Georgia's defense, man, that's if you keep people from getting in front of the sticks, then it's hard for them to catch up against you. But this play was a problem for Georgia all night, and you're going to see it over and over in this tape. And it was particularly a problem for Dumas Johnson, the linebacker, number 10. Good pressure here. Warren Brinson continues to flash. They didn't play him a whole ton of a lot. None of these first-team guys played too many snaps on defense, but he's really come on to where you're seeing him look like not just an explosive pass rusher, but also a really good run defender. And here, this helpless right guard never has a chance. 97 in the backfield, less athletic quarterback. That is a sack. All right. Moving forward, 2nd and 10. Ball's handed off. Not a total highlight play. I get that, but I love what Tramel Walther stood out to me a couple times in this game. He's number 90. He is the right defensive end for Georgia on this play, and he immediately at the snap he gets off upfield, and he's forcing. That is a set edge right there. Okay, and once that guy starts coming past him, then he can go back into the lane and make a play. But he's just forcing all of he's forcing that action. He's making the ball flow towards the red shirts, and that's what you want. And then you got Stackhouse in there doing what Stackhouse does, quietly making plays. I feel like he's always just super super solid, not necessarily always exploding off tape, shooting gaps and stuff, but that's not what they want him to do. They want him to do exactly what he did right there, which is be gap sound, take up space. Another pass rush, Warren Brinson. Chambliss, this was one of the better games he's played, in my mind. Chambliss and Brinson, they're going to converge on the quarterback here, both coming off the left side. But, I mean, Brinson, Jesus, man, just shoots that B gap. Really, really impressive. Makes it look easy. Georgia gets the ball back. And this kind of, these next two drives are, we have an internet issue here. 1 second. There we go. Okay. These next two drives, kind of the only problem spots you saw from Georgia's offense in this game. Andrew Paul there on a run play. And so, Ernest Green's going to shoot up to the second level, and Oscar Delp's pulling around from right to left, and he's got to block that defensive end. And he does an okay job, but it's not a good enough job to create the hole. You got Fairchild at left guard. He's moving folks, right? So, Delp is just a little too late on this block. Green is pancaking guy. That's his second pancake of the game. This was by far his best game, in my opinion. From an assignment standpoint and just from a physical play standpoint, he looked very good. No offensive lineman ever plays a perfect game. It's really hard to do what these guys do, but it's just, Delp if he makes that block, it should be a pretty clean hole there for Andrew Paul. Good seeing Andrew Paul back getting carries. We hadn't seen him in a couple of weeks since week 2, I believe. And then this is just sloppy. This is just lazy and sloppy. 3 drops I saw from Georgia in the kind of mid to late first quarter on screen kind of swing type passes. 3rd and 6, I like this formation. I like that Georgia's spreading it out. You got a bunch. You got Bell on the outside, and then you got a lot of athletes on the inside. This is not well protected, and this is a spot where where Green is he's gonna have some issues at left tackle. But Truss, I think Carson honestly kind of steps up in a weird way. But man, there are open guys. If he just gets a split second longer, or he keeps his eyes downfield, most importantly, uh, as he's stepping up, you can deliver that ball to Roseme, and he probably runs for a first down. So Ratledge at right guard. Actually, it's Ratledge that this play is really on. Now that I look at it, Ratledge at right guard. You see him 69 there, and he's just going to get shucked by that D tackle and lets that guy get outside. In fairness to Tate, though, you're not expecting your quarterback to step up into that spot. Like, you should be forcing that guy, the defensive tackle, outside. So it just maybe a little happy feet from Carson. This is a better angle at it. Really, it starts with Green, and then the problems go from there. But you don't like seeing your quarterback get sacked, especially against UAB. Tends to not be a recipe for success. Okay, so here's that play again, right? Play action. They're going to freeze the linebacker. Watch Dumas Johnson. And this is honestly one of the ones that he plays better than some others. But you see Dumas Johnson here, and he's coming downhill, and he's bit. Like, now he knows what's happening, but he's too far upfield and he's too far inside to recover leverage on the tight end that's slipping out here. And so now he's chasing him from behind instead of taking an angle to meet him. It's 3 yards. It's honestly it's not poorly played, but you'll see as we go through this, he bites hard on some of these play action fakes and gets caught on some pass plays and on some of these sort of slip out type actions that UAB was running, which you don't want to see. All right, 2nd and 7 here. UAB is kind of audibling to more spread out formation. Audible again. Good Lord. And then they're going to run the ball. And Brinson, this is a 3-man situation. He shoots pretty far inside here. You've got Marvin Jones kind of, flanking in he's, because of the formation shift, he's an outside linebacker that is now having to play coverage. And then you got Dumas Johnson, obviously, an inside linebacker. But this run's coming off the right side. At this point, Marvin Jones should be crashing, and he is. But Dumas Johnson gets locked up by the right guard at the second level instead of coming and kind of – what you want to see Dumas Johnson there is make a move towards Georgia's sideline, towards the bottom of your screen, and then scrape up into that hole. And him and Marvin Jones, he honestly should be beating Jones to that tackle. And he makes it, but that's a first down run. So, just a Georgia linebacker, as athletic as they are, as good as that position room is, like, not every play is perfect, so I don't want to be like that guy, but you don't really want to see those guys getting blocked at the second level by a G5 guard that's not very good. Just to be frank. Now I love this, okay? Because Marvin Jones Jr., everybody I talk to from an intel standpoint, they love his athleticism, his size, his speed. He's got all the gifts, but they've been waiting for that light to come on for him, especially in the run game and in terms of setting edges and playing the run in the physical way that Georgia expects defenders to play the run. And this is textbook right here, okay? He sits, he doesn't, he's patient. He forces the quarterback to hand it off. So this is setting the edge, so to speak. Like he is being responsible for the quarterback on the backside, forcing the handoff, and then he's crashing and making the play with Brinson. Textbook by Marvin Jones Jr. And if he keeps doing that, you're going to see him more and more and more. And I think that's a good thing for Georgia because the athletic ceiling is high there. 2nd and 9, and this is obviously incomplete, but let's take a second and look what happens. Jones is going to follow the tight end, the motion, as he should, but Dumas Johnson, he's caught looking over at the left side of UAB's formation, which I don't totally understand. Sori's blitzing. I get him wanting to play that inside route there. That's correct. But I don't know who's supposed to, if Everett's supposed to come down there, honestly, that probably is what it is, Everett or Starks. But because the numbers seem right on the other side of the field, but someone is screwed up there. And you see Jamon pointing like, hey, somebody's supposed to have that guy. Georgia's got to get the ball back here. 1st and 10, another drop. This one, not totally on Dylan Bell. This was one of Green's poorer plays. UAB kind of has this overhanging front on the right side. You're not sure if that guy that's standing up is going to blitz or not. Then you can tell he's blitzing here at the snap. Delp doesn't block him. It's like Delp's trying to go get the corner, but Green is not far enough out to reach him. It's just it's a weird play. I don't know what the design is because it seems like Oscar, unless Oscar doesn't know what he's doing here, it seems like he's very much, that's not him missing a block. That's him trying to go and make a block further downfield. But either poor play design or missed assignment, but just not a good play at all. Pretty run here from Dylan Bell. Man, when he gets into some space, he's very impressive. I like what he does on these shotgun sweeps. Bowers, good job on the edge. And this is good. This is a good gap scheme by Georgia's offensive line. And what I mean by that is you got guys pulling from right to left. Okay, so you're going to have your left guard, Dylan Fairchild, 53, and your center, Cedric Van Pran, 63. They're going to come around to this left side, and they're going to help Georgia create a numbers advantage in the run game. Van Pran gets his guy. Fairchild kind of, gets his guy. Is it a perfect play? No. Is it an 8-yard gain on 2nd and 10 to put you in 3rd and manageable? Yes, and that's a good thing. Georgia's run game still, I would say inconsistent at times, but you're starting to see the things that you want to see from the offensive line. You're seeing better execution on the offensive line on a regular basis. Good blitz pickup here. Maybe blitz is too strong of a word, but if I wasn't mistaken, UAB was rushing 5 there. You've got, so 27 coming off. And this is good job by Carson not panicking under the blitz. Good pickup. Ernest Green realizes in real time that inside backer is coming off the edge, and he shifts his protection to pick it up. That's really, really good from a true or a redshirt freshman. That's impressive stuff. And good job by Roseme and Beck to read the same thing. Roseme really explosive in this game. 3 catches for over 90 yards. That's 30-plus yards a catch. That's what you want to see out of your X receiver. This was kind of a weird one. You get Delp here off the right side. He's gonna get worked over in pass protection. And Green is straining. He's holding in there at left tackle, but he's straining a little bit. But Delp just gets he gets put in the oop-de-oop. Carson's got a flush. Good job by Carson just getting rid of it. It's okay to eat that ball, especially on first down. Don't do any, he's really good at not turning the ball over, man. You got to give him credit. Very good at protecting the football. 2nd and 10 here. Back foot throw. This is not an exceptionally notable play, other than the fact that we have not seen Georgia's running backs, aside from Cash Jones, get involved in the pass game much yet. And this was the type of play that was a staple of Georgia's offense in 2021 with Kenny McIntosh. I think it's good for Georgia to establish that their running backs will catch the ball. 3rd and 4, and look, this is Daijun Edwards being Daijun Edwards, okay? Straight up. Blocking is not bad, but it's not great. And UAB's bringing the house. They've got five rushing off that edge. And then they've got a lot of bodies here near this left hash. And Edwards just picks through that, man. Like a lot of, this block gets missed here in the Green comes up, and he gets some of this guy originally, but he sort of loses it there at the end of the play. And he doesn't really lose it. I shouldn't say that. But that guy gets into Daijun, 15 from UAB does. But Edwards just works it through. Good job. Better angle here on that. Just patient runner. There's so many. He's such a help to an offensive line. There's so many runs that he makes that other backs aren't going to. All right, I hated this play. I know that UAB is bringing pressure, and I know that Carson is responding to that pressure. You see him moving back, shifting back and back onto that back foot. But this is 3rd and 4. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so UAB's bringing 6. This is good pass pro from Georgia. All right, you've got 6 on 6 here because Edwards is in. You see Edwards standing right there on the 30-yard line, doing a really good job in pass protection. But all right, so he throws this, and I think this play bothered me so much because it reminded me of last week when Georgia, when Beck wasn't seeing the 2nd and 3rd level of the field if he had these underneath routes. Rah-Rah is the only guy that he could have thrown this ball to where this play doesn't go for a first down. You see Lovett there on the SEC logo. He's got his defender beat. If that ball's delivered to him in stride, he's going for a first down. Rah-Rah obviously gets lit up. We got a good reverse angle of this play here. You'll see what I'm talking about. So watch Rosemy, number 1, coming off the left side, and watch Bowers as well. Or no, not Bowers. I'm sorry. Just watch Rosemy. Look how wide ass open he is. Do you think he walks in for a touchdown if Beck flips that to him? I know that this is that he's under pressure, but man. And then there's Bowers. I knew Bowers. Look if you got Brock Bowers with a step on a corner that looks to be, 6 inches shorter than him, throw that bad boy onto the O in the end zone, the painted O there, and let 19 go get it. Man. Just super frustrating because it put Georgia into 4th and 2. And, it's frustrating to watch because you can feel this offense is so close to really, really humming. But now you're in 4th and 2, and you make this pass behind the receiver. Just a bad couple plays from Beck, which I don't say often. Like, he's done very well for a first-time starter. This is another play where, I know Bowers got 9 targets in this game. It's not like he's not getting the ball, but watch him on this play. He is so open for first. It's just the easiest first down ever. And Beck just goes to a guy that's, not very open. That's a tough throw to make, and it's way behind him. He knows it too. But the thing I'll say about Beck is every week that he makes these, makes a mistake, he doesn't make those same mistakes the next week for the most part. Like, you can tell every time he gets into the film room after a game that he's learning and getting better, and reps are helping him a lot. Okay, so this is absolutely beautiful from Jamel Walther. This might have been my favorite defensive play of the entire game. So he's gonna see this this little slip motion that we've been talking about, where they bring these tight ends and running backs down the line and slip them into the flat. So first he's going to play the run properly, number 90, defensive end for Georgia. He's making sure that quarterback, keeper, running back, what's going on here? Now he sees that this quarterback's kept the ball and that he's going to pass, and he gets and jumps in. Is he going to be able to cover that guy all the way down the line? No, but he gets in here and disrupts the angle, shows his shirt to the quarterback, makes that throw uncomfortable enough for him, forces that quarterback to tuck it, and then helps to, well, he doesn't really end up being the guy that makes the play. CJ Allen makes the play, but still, it's just beautiful. Let's watch it at full speed real quick. And CJ Allen, good job just jumping off of a block there from the linebacker position. That kid's going to be really good. The more and more I see of him, the more and more I think Georgia's going to have a conundrum on their hands come October and November on who to play at linebacker. Good rush here by Chaz Chambliss, just coming off the edge. And this is one of those like shifts that Georgia does pre-snap. And I love this for Georgia because they timed this out perfectly. And basically, the way that times out, Chambliss hops outside and gets to go straight into his pass rush. And it's kind of a weird situation for the pass protection of UAB at that point. I love those defensive line shifts that Georgia do. That it's a little detail, and I don't know why everybody doesn't do it, but it creates penalties for them. It does a lot. Bad job here. I mean, not a bad job. Like, there's times where teams just beat you, and like I said, Alex Mortensen was in his bag, but Georgia gets way out over their skis on this one. Not great backside pursuit by the defense. Lassiter, he's getting put on his butt, which it happens. It does. Kind of lucky that guy just decided to run down his own player's back. Otherwise, he probably runs a little longer. Another good job here by Jones, Marvin Jones Jr. playing the edge. See him here, right side defensive end. Just, he's probably honestly a little, he watches the handoff. Maybe, if that quarterback keeps that, if that's a quarterback keeper, he's in trouble in that position because he's leaning way too far inside. But, and you got Walther in here too, making problems. That is, that penetration into the backfield. It's not what a running back wants to look at when they get the ball, start coming downfield, forces him to trip over his guy's leg. All right, 3rd and 4 here. And we got another one of these damn slip plays, right? Dumas Johnson. So Mondon is blitzing, which puts Dumas Johnson responsible for this linebacker. And, the fact that you're bringing 5 here when you normally are bringing 4 is all the more reason for Dumas Johnson to be patient with this play action fake. But you just see he's too far into the play. Like, he's too far upfield. And there goes that tight end behind him. Easy touchdown. I can promise you, Auburn this week, who has really struggled to throw the ball downfield, they are going to test the shit out of him on those types of actions. Like they are going to try and zone read, play action him to death, and slip guys, out from his side of the field or behind him as an inside linebacker to try and hit tight ends up the seam. And he better be prepared for it because I can promise you that's coming because that offense is limited and if they find something that they can exploit inside the box, they don't have any choice but to try and exploit it. Good run here from Dejan. Really good blocking. I thought in the run block that first team offensive line, which is kind of an upset, Fairchild and Ernest Green at left guard and left tackle, respectively, did a great. Like I thought they did better than the right side. They were more consistent in the right side, in my opinion. And Van Pran at center, just doing Van Pran things. That's not. I'm sorry, I knew this. That's Micah Morris that's in at left guard, spelling him. Watch Micah Morris at left guard introduce himself to the inside linebacker. This is his first play in of the game, and whoops, yeah. How would that feel? That would suck. Be an inside linebacker, getting introduced to the game that way. Not going to be super fun. On the offensive line, just to back up my thesis that I put out earlier. So all right, so on 3 carries rushing between Van Pran and Fairchild, Tajon Edwards had 3 first downs. And when running, well, I should say between left guard and center, because Michael Morris was in there too. Van Pran, 3 first downs, 3 touchdowns, 20 yards, 6.7 yards per attempt. That is effective, efficient offense. And then when running between Fairchild and Green, Edwards, or I should say when running between left guard and Ernest Green, 3 carries for 24 yards. So 8 yards a carry. And only 18 of those 44 yards came after contact. What does that tell us? That tells us that the left guard, left tackle, and center are mashing ass and giving your starting running back plenty of grass to go mow. Good things to see. All right. This is going to make some of you sick. Oh, Georgia finally had like a true bomb open for a touchdown and they missed it. Bummer. Yeah. Jackson Meeks had a great fall camp and then hurt his toe. So, probably in this situation, not capable of running as fast as normal for him. But it's a good play design. You got Bowers with dudes all over him for obvious reasons, and they slip Meeks up the back door, and Carson just misses it. I mean, that's all you can say about it. I do like the fact, though, that Carson is not throwing. Like, he's got his eyes downfield, and he's looking for this shot instead of throwing to Ra Thomas, who's in the top right corner of your screen right now and is open. And that wouldn't have been a bad decision for him to throw it there. Obviously, it would have probably been a first down. But I like seeing him try and bite off some bigger chunks. Yeah, that's the shit. I had it. Look, and this is just your reverse angle of it. So that's Lovett that they just run straight into the middle of this. I think this is a quarters look that UAB was in, and he occupies 3 Blazers. Another run play. Not good. Truss at right tackle. I'm not sure. Auburn's going to be a big test for him at that position because, like, it didn't go great against UAB. Like, that's just not shit that can happen right there. Pardon my language. I'm losing my vocabulary a little bit here, but that's just poor blocking. And shouldn't be happening. And it's not a great job by anybody else either, really. There's Ratledge. He's up on the second level, and well, if that run play goes where it's supposed to go, then yeah, it's really on trust. 3rd and 6 here. Carson gets a check with me. And he's going to step up. And I love this for him. I do. This, from an EPA standpoint, which you guys might not know much about, but it's just an advanced stat of expected points added. This play on 3rd and 6 to keep a drive alive and basically cross over the 50 into scoring territory. This is a huge play. Keep possession of the football there. Georgia's going to keep rolling. Good throw to Delp. I mean, that's all I can, nice seeing Oscar get involved. 3 catches in this game. This is one of these little slips out to Bowers. Not a great block by Ra Thomas, but he does enough to get in the way. And that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. Just get in the way. Just be an obstruction. Be a traffic cone if you need to. But that'll do it. That will work. 1st down. Brock Bowers is a baby rhino. And there he is again. Throws a guy out of bounds. Very impressive. And then this is a nice touchdown run from Dajon Edwards. Again, how many guys make that run? I know it's not a sexy 70-yard run that some dude's going to set to YouTube highlight reel with some, upbeat song, but this is picking your way through. He just gets skinny and gets into the end zone. It's such a plus value player, in my opinion. So UAB's got the ball back here. And this is one of these little pop pass type plays. And I don't know. To be honest, I felt like Georgia's back 7. I thought their defensive line played probably their best game of the year. Their back 7 at times, they just looked kind of, a half step slow. They looked a little disengaged, not totally locked in. This is a play that an athlete like Mondin, I mean, don't get me wrong, UAB's got athletes too. This is a very up-tempo, effective offense, but just a play you expect to see Georgia make, out there on the perimeter. You want to see them out there tackling that guy around the line of scrimmage. And part of that's Tyke Smith. I mean, he should be maybe able to shoot upfield if he's able to get around that block. But and then this is beautiful. What I love about Kamari Lassiter is, he might be the best cover corner in the SEC, but he does the dirty work, blows past that block, tackle for loss. Good for him. Really, really nice play. 3rd and 2. And this is Mondin, he kind of turned his jets on for this series here. Really nice job. This is what I mean by scraping and filling. Scrapes towards the edge of the box. He's looking for that running back, figuring out where he's going to go. Good patience. And then as soon as he sees him flash towards the outside, he makes a tackle. It's good defense, man. Mondin, I think, is just super, super rock solid. But I'm going to be interested to see how Georgia rotates at linebacker at Auburn. I think Dumas Johnson is a fantastic inside linebacker, for the record. I just don't know if he's the guy you want out there in some certain passing down situations. And it's not because he's bad at it. It's just because they've got some other guys that I think are really, really, really good at it. Good defense here. Kristen Miller holding his own. And look at Warren Brinson, okay? A guy who basically was used only in pass rush situations for a portion of his career because he did not do this. He shucks his guy, bam, body slams homeboy to the ground. Like he holds off, but like could have body slammed him. This is what you've been waiting for from this guy for 4 years, okay? Like he's two gap in this play. He's waiting to see where that back's going. He's throwing his blocker off and he is making a tackle for loss. That is, hitting all of the bullet points right there. Okay. Like put that on Warren Brinson's NFL highlight tape when he gets ready to go through the draft process. And then look at Darius Smith. Okay. Like the 6'6" track athlete who, this is what I mean. Like Georgia's defensive line played a very hungry football game, in my opinion. Uh, Everybody thought this guy was going to be a pass rush specialist. Look who's all of a sudden, you know, playing his keys right, getting upfield, not getting too far upfield, not getting too far inside, making a tackle for a loss. Good for that kid. Like, that is how that kid gets more snaps, more trust, the ability to play in bigger games. What he just did right there. And if he can do that on a consistent basis, he's a future first round pick. Like athletically super special. And that type of athlete is going to develop into a very, very high level pass rusher. But if he can couple that defense to go with it, sky's the limit. Beck, probably his best throw of the day in my eyes was this one to Rosemead right here. It's a tight window throw that he makes. Yeah, you get Marcus there. And yeah, it's a nice throw. Here we go. Okay. Having a little lag here. All right, so this is the bomb to Arian Smith that just goes off his hands. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a good throw. Okay, like it's definitely a catchable throw, and it is a throw that should be caught. I do think that the throw could be a little further inside, or further towards the left hash mark, basically. But Arian Smith's got to catch it. Like credit, Carson didn't put enough air on the throw before, and I think he put enough air on this one, and it doesn't work out for him. Yeah, stuff. And Arian is he's still growing, right? Like he's a receiver who's been in the program for a long time, but he is still learning how to be, that high level wideout. Still developing his game and becoming more well rounded. Really nice throw here to Lovett. Like what they're doing with Lovett, work in the middle. Him and Rosemead both, like that's dangerous. That creates a lot of interesting opportunities for double moves as well. What those two guys are doing in some of these like more, deep intermediate routes, the kind of 10 to 25 yard stuff. And then, Brock Bowers being Brock Bowers. And what I like about this throw for Carson is that he's going to recognize the matchup here and he's going to see, he knows what he's looking for, right? He looks off, he's looking everybody off, and then he knows that he's got Bowers on this delay action after Bowers blocks this guy. And that's why that safety is coming back across the field. And then obviously Brock's going to do his thing. But I like the fact that Carson puts this ball. It's not a perfect ball, but it is a very catchable ball. And he recognizes, Brock's got this guy beat by 3 yards. I don't need to throw this ball into the sideline. I need to throw it where he can catch it and let him make a play. And that's what he did. So good job all around there. This is the interception that Mondon created. Tyke Smith pulled it down. Good job by him. Here we go to screen pass. Oh yeah, this is pretty. This is like the touchdown for McIntosh against Ohio State. Okay, this is a jailbreak screen. You got 4 big boys heading downfield, and what you miss here. So Dylan Bell, he's going to be a little overeager, lose his footing. He's got large men coming to provide him reinforcements, but just Ernest gets to his guy, but just doesn't fully, that's kind of it's just not great form on the block. Like if he gets to that block and puts his hands out and instead of trying to kind of like shoulder him, then Brock Bowers is going to score a touchdown there. And he realizes it and he's like, oh man, but that's okay. Football's a hard game. You got to get 11 dudes doing the right thing at one time. Dejan Edwards doing Dejan Edwards things. Not a shock there. We're all used to that. Touchdown for Georgia. And then this is really the only drive that Georgia's first team gave up, right? Because, the drive that UAB scored on earlier was off of a fumbled punt. So this is like, does this feel familiar yet to you? This isn't the same action that we've been talking about with those downline motions, but still it's just a simple flip out basically to the boundary, to the line of scrimmage, and inside linebacker not quite getting there fast enough. 2nd and 5. So yeah, this, I don't, man, like it's just, this play right here feels credit to, so give Dumas Johnson credit, who is the sole inside linebacker here. He's going to read this wheel route and come over here and, basically, it's not really actually a wheel route. Whatever's going on. Maybe that guy sees JDJ coming and flares it out. But him moving down towards the running back out of the backfield forces Zeno, the UAB quarterback, to not throw that ball. But coming back the other way, it's just like, where is everybody? Like Tyke Smith is kind of jogging here, like he's waiting for somebody else to make this play. I don't like it. Like, especially going up against Robbie Ashford next week for Georgia. You do that shit against Robbie Ashford, he's going to, he's not going to throw the ball over you, but he sure as hell going to run the ball over you. Good pressure here. And then this is more of the same from Tyke Smith. Like, this is kind of a loaf play, honestly. He looks like he's loafing a little bit. It's a lazy tackle for a guy that's been like so ferocious this year. And why does that matter? Does it matter? Did it change the score of the game? Or, did it change the outcome of the game? No, absolutely not. But why it matters is it's 2nd and 7 here, and there's 30 seconds left, and UAB's got 1 timeout left. Okay? This ball is caught in a spot where it should be tackled, not for a first down. So UAB is going to have to burn that timeout, and that changes all of their play calling options moving forward because they don't have a timeout to sit on. Just those things matter. And I can promise you that Kirby Smart's talking about the same thing. And then this is look, like Dalen Everett, we talked about a lot last week in the South Carolina tape. UAB is not the type of team that's going to be able to throw all over Georgia. Most of their passing yards came after the catch, and balls were thrown shortly, somewhere around the line of scrimmage. But Everett, he's got a big season ahead of him. He's got a lot of big games playing. He's going to play a lot of big physical receivers. And after the way he kind of struggled against Xavier Leggett from South Carolina last week, which there's no shame in because he's a really good player, but this is another big guy. This is really the only big guy on UAB's roster. And here where they got a chance to score on the number one team in the country and make this game respectable at halftime, they matched up their big guy on him and he won. Straight up, like he won that play. And I think that Everett, young corner, still growing, but just, his field awareness at times is not 100% great yet. It's something you're going to want to see improve. And then this is the touchdown pass. And Tyke, this is a play where just putting your hands out there against that big guy ain't going to work. And he gets beat. And it's just kind of, you got to move your feet, first of all. And then second of all, you got to know that route's coming. And you've got inside leverage on that route. And, like we talked about that. If you were around last year, you remember the Tennessee preview talking about having to play inside leverage against those guys. And it's just, this is like a rub route situation, but Tyke doesn't even really get in a position to get rubbed. It's just not well played. And then you get the fumble before halftime, which doesn't really end up costing him anything, but it's just ugly and sloppy. It's just not good football. And it's lazy. I'm not saying the fumble was lazy necessarily, but just like these are all simple things. They're not hard. They just require thought and effort. Love this play from Jamon Dumas-Johnson coming out of the half. Sets a good tone. And Georgia, gets back looking the way that Georgia should look. But, yeah, like plays the run and then comes and plays the quarterback. Really, really nice play by JDJ. 2nd and 14. Love this play from Dan Jackson as well. We're just going to let this roll in full time. He's going to come down from the safety spot. He's outside of your screen right now. Really good tackle. Good job by Dan Jackson. All right, this is a 3rd and 2 for Georgia. More Dejan doing his thing, and this is a good block by. Oh wait, no, Truss. No, not a good block by Truss. I'm sorry. Might have been why I picked this, honestly. Bowers is going to get enough of his guy to clean it out. But yeah, like Truss is standing backwards looking at the play. He does get a piece of his man on the rebound, but that's just not going to work in SEC play from your right tackle. This is the screen pass. They almost jumped for a touchdown. This goes back to Delp, who we talked about earlier, hot and cold blocker. Got to make that block. And I almost am like, is that Brock's block to make? Because he just runs past him, but I don't think it is. The way we see that screen design a lot from Georgia, makes sense for him to get to the second level and then seal like he is. But Delp has to make that block. If he doesn't make that block, then that's going for 6 the other way. These are the things that will keep you up at night if you're a coach. Nice to see Georgia come out in the third quarter and like run the ball with some consistency. I know, it wasn't always perfect blocking by all 5, but Edwards made it work. This is pretty perfect blocking by all 5, though. But just the hole he's squeezing through there, the vision to say that, that's going to be a hole and to not trip in it and then to make another move at the next level, really good stuff. Good job by Ra blocking up there. Love it. You'd like to see Arian a little more engaged as a blocker on this play. Like if you do see that, then you might see a long touchdown run. Yeah, just I don't know what's just a bad throw by Beck here, or why this bounces at Smith's feet, but not a great play. They do come back here on 2nd and 10. And I love watching Dylan Bell cut in the open field. Like, this is nasty, nasty stuff here. And this is a great block by Van Pran. Look at Van Pran come down the line here. He's just going to basically forearm shiver this dude into the turf, and then Bell's going to cut back. That's a pretty run, like pretty blocking, pretty running, fun play to watch when you're going through tape. And then the baby rhino gets back into the baby rhino form. But like, look at Rosemy. I think about why is he out there starting? Why is he in a spot now in his career where he's getting 3 catches for 90 yards? And it's because he's always done this. Like 2021 national championship game, Georgia needs somebody to block for Brock Bowers. That guy's the one out there doing it. Just pretty outstanding stuff from him. Here's another one where they get Georgia on this kind of underneath stuff in between linebackers. This is different. This isn't a down the line type deal. Aguero probably needs to be in that spot. I don't see anybody else who, he's taking a step. He's got eyes on the quarterback, but there's a lot of guys there that are they're biting up a little too hard, honestly. Sorry, and Dumas Johnson. Say the same thing about. Okay. This was awesome. Best pass rush of the night for sure. Watch Zion Logue, number 96, who is lined up at defensive tackle, and he is going to take the center for a ride, or the right guard. He's going to take the right guard for a ride. Yeah, dude, that's how it's done. If that guy with that length can continue to do that, then he's an NFL player. He worked hard this offseason, Logue did, to put on some extra weight, and you can kind of see it coming to fruition for him. 3rd and 10 here. Good rush off the edge by Jalen Walker. He's been a little quiet the last couple of weeks, so nice to see that from him. And then good ball, Carson to Marcus. Plenty of room to work. This is another one of those plays where like deep routes beget deep routes. Maybe that'll become one of our sayings. Like football's played from the inside out. Deep routes create space, and CJ Smith is just gonna come off the right side of the formation. He's lined up as the Z receiver. Rosemy's your X receiver. Pretty tight personnel. He's just gonna run those guys off and Roseme's going to do the rest. That's exactly what you want. All right, we got 3rd and 9 here. And good job by Carson on the execution of this. Sells it well. Patient, runs it off, turns his back to the play and everything, and then just lightly floats it over. He's got blockers downfield. Touchdown. Good play by Aguero. Oh, and Humphrey. You know what? That's what I really actually wanted to point out. So Aguero does a good job, but Humphrey's the boundary corner at the top. And look, I really like his game. I do. And I might be like a little biased here just because the things I heard from him out of camp were so good, but I'm not sure if he's not the number 2 corner on this team. I just don't know if we'll get a chance to see it. But the field awareness, okay, that's what we're talking about here. Like, eyes are in the backfield. He's in perfect coverage position with the guy he's on. But as soon as he sees that ball go out there, he peels off and helps make that play. Good rush here by Kristen Miller and John Jefferson. But they shoot, if Zeno doesn't step on the line there, that probably turns ugly pretty quick. And then liked this play from Raylan Wilson. Look, there was a lot of garbage time in this game, so I just picked out a couple spots where I saw young guys doing good things. Gabe Harris coming off the right side. Gabe has flashed a lot so far early this year. Good pass rushing by him. And then Raylan Wilson, good awareness, like coming up and taking the right angle to force that ball out of bounds. You're going to see those two make a lot of plays together in their careers. 1st and 10 here. So there's another one of those down the line plays, right? But this one's defended perfectly. Watch number 5, inside linebacker Raylan Wilson. Keys it, goes and makes the play. Like, that's kind of, it's not that hard. Georgia made that play look really hard to defend at times in this game, but this dude was obviously paying attention over there on the bench because look where he is when this play action comes through, okay? He's not biting too far down, and he's keeping good leverage with that tight end who he is responsible for, at least in part. Good job. Really good job. Great athlete, by the way. Wilson is. And then I thought, Vandergrift's looked pretty crisp every time we've seen him. And it's fun to watch him come in. He's kind of got this like Tasmanian devil, not in a chaotic vibe, but just like his legs and the element they bring. This run, I was really impressed with the right side of the second team offensive line. Drew Bobo is going to be your guard, number 74 there, your right guard. And then you got Jared Wilson in at center. And you got Lidberg at right tackle, who's a vet, but they blocked this really, really well. And then you still have Micah Morris in the game, flattening people. He's the left guard at the second level. That's textbook, guys. Give Andrew Paul a head of steam, let him get downhill for 10 yards before he runs into somebody else. Perfect. Like, that's what the first team offensive line should be doing. Good decision here by Vandergrift to keep. Good decision to get behind CJ Smith. And then he carries some defenders for a little while. Love that. It's fun to see the quarterback run element of Georgia's offense a little bit more. And then you get this run play from Savon Clark and the same guys we just talked about, the right side of that offensive line. Beautiful job. Um, Jared Wilson, in particular, the center, number 55, is just a guy to watch. He's going to be a good one. But Drew Bobo at right guard, I was surprised with, honestly. Like, he looked very, very good. And I think he's one to be excited about. But, like, that is perfect run blocking right there. Getting not just downfield, but also creating a seal. Great stuff. Um, this, so, UAB kind of gets this garbage time touchdown here, but I wanted to shout out Carlton Madden. He is the left defensive end for Georgia here, and you got to watch him close to see it from this camera angle, but there's a guard coming to pull number 55 here, and he is going to flatten him. He just gets lower, which is exactly what you're supposed to do. You get lower, and then he keeps his feet, bounces off, gets into the hole, and makes a tackle. That is great defense. Shout out to Carlton Madden, number 16. This was a little, AJ Harris, really good player, really talented. He's going to play a lot of football for Georgia for multiple seasons, but not the best form tackling here. That's one that if you're going to play at Georgia, you kind of got to make. Yeah. And that's all I got for you guys tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks to everybody who watches and comments on this stuff. Please subscribe to dogcentral.com. Like, if you're watching this video right now and you're not subscribed to dogcentral.com, then honestly, like, your your life is not properly in alignment with what you love and value. Because anybody that's watching the second and third team clips from the UAB game, an hour and 15 minutes into this film study, is the type of person that 12 takeaways and multiple recruiting and injury intel and practice intel updates during the week. Like, we exist for you, so come and find us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting what I do. Thank you for supporting what we do, and we will see you soon.